All right, Cyber Traders, welcome on back here this Tuesday, August 15th, now officially the Ides of August, as I said yesterday. But great to see all of us, Wayne, Kathleen, Grant, John, Felix, Andre, Yehuda, Brian, Sam, Egan, Xavier, Barbara, full house here joining us inside our live trading room. Great to see you there. Great to see you back on social media, Facebook Live, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, etc. Once again, if you're just joining us perhaps today and not yesterday, Fausto is out all week, deservedly so. He's on vacation in Bermuda, enjoying time with his family. So I'm stepping in from this week. John says the Wolf of Wall Street. That's right. I got my on this side here, I think. You got my nice little artwork behind me there, the Wolf of Wall Street, right? Well, I'll tell you what, I love today because today is Tuesday. And for all of us here, Michael, Grant, John, Kathleen, Wayne, etc., what are we doing on Tuesdays, folks? What do we got on Tuesday morning, each and every Tuesday at 11 o'clock Eastern? Especially if you're joining us on social media, Facebook Live, LinkedIn, Twitter, etc. We'll pop the post up in the comments section right there. Join us at 11 o'clock Eastern time today, exclusively inside our live trading room. We'll have our Traders Talk workshop. We'll pop in on YouTube here and there, so check us out at the same time on YouTube. Scan the QR code on the top left of the stream right there too. But hey, for Charles, Margaret, Michael, Yehuda, and all of us inside our live trading room, let me know if you have any questions, typing in my email address right now inside the chat board, josh@ctutrading.com. Any and all questions or trades you'd want to go over with us as a group, definitely let me know. And at the same time, if you're joining us on YouTube, on social media, on our social streams, I'll post my email there too. So if you want to join us at 11 o'clock Eastern time this morning, just stay tuned for that. So with that in mind, folks, we have a couple of nice trades to begin pre-market this morning. I'll tell you, yesterday morning was actually really strong, not just the market open and the regular hours, but even the pre-market yesterday. I was on a call with one of our students, Charles, and I'm losing track of my students already. Oh, man, I need to get more coffee in me. Who was my 8 o'clock yesterday? Pablo E. So, we were on a couple of different trades yesterday, at least it was. But, man, it was a really strong session where you wouldn't have expected as much traction within the market for a Monday in the middle of August. Not much is happening here in the summer months, especially on a non-holiday month. You have families that are looking to take time like Fausto's to finish up time and take vacation, right? So, you normally wouldn't have expected that much. We had a great Monday and an even better pre-market this morning. The WLDS, we just completed a nice trade on just now. We were looking for support off the first peak, right off of 125, a little under as the VWAP was at like 21, 22, is moving up. So right around here, we were looking for the hold of support right off these peaks here. And it took a little bit, took about 5-6 minutes for this to build. But this ended up running up pretty nicely. So it eventually broke higher, thankfully. And with that, it ended up running up just about 20 cents. Now, on this trade, a couple of different levels to watch out for on this. 151 was like a weekly doji, but it was more just kind of looking at like the resistance that was being built long-term there. Kind of right around like 160s there, 160-ish or so, loosely speaking, a bit of a rounded top off of there. Would it shock me to see it run up towards that 160-ish? Not at all, especially if it continues the higher lows pattern that it's still making here technically. Had a nasty shake off of 147 to 150-ish. But hey, still holding support. And even if it does pull back once the market opens, this would be our next bottom. So in the event where if this does drop harder, then this is ultimately our last line in the sand here, 122, 123. I'd rather not see that happen, but that's the next support should it break under 130s here. So where's my pen? There we go. Let's start off with putting the WLDS on our watch list here. We had the WLDS. Then we also add DCTH. Man, what a trade this was. In fact, let me break out Benzinga Pro for this because I was pretty reluctant with putting this on the pre-market watch list prior to 8 o'clock because it was flat. It almost looked like a buyout. So I didn't check the news. I should have. Let's see. DCTH shares are trading higher after the company announced FDA approval for the treatment of adult patients with unresectable hepatic dominant metastatic, blah, 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 blah. A whole bunch of words above my pay grade that I can't pronounce right now. I got my coffee in me, twisting my tongue up here. So, DCTH, nevertheless, it ended up leading to a phenomenal pop. It took a little while to get there, but ended up making that big breakout. And just before, although it's not breaking higher, we were calling out support here on level 4 off of 585 it was. Just looking for big support to build here at this point. Last line in the sand, essentially, for this trade. And once it pulled back, it did hold. It did a good job building a little higher low. It tried to go back up off of it, but we got to see it break higher. And that's what I wrote in the chat board as well. If it's not going to make that big move on the way up, then be careful. This can make a big shake, big drop just right away on the way back down. Just look at the daily chart. History often repeats itself. So for as much as this stock has dumped off from the beginning of June, late May, it's on a nice little short squeeze here. Don't get me wrong. And it does look like FDA approval, in fact. So that's like the last line as far as just getting the drug out there. You have phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, a whole bunch of different trials with those as well. So those take years to complete. And then actually once they pass all 3 phases, if they do, they get the FDA approval. So huge news. Granted, it's already up 94%. So, I'd love to see if this can make another run again. Just be careful heading into the market open here. And I always say this. We said it yesterday morning, in fact. You should be out of your pre-market trade by 9:10, 9:15 Eastern prior to the open. Allow the stock a chance to breathe and relax. Allow yourself a chance to breathe and relax too. So, hey, if you jumped in on this DCTH, you made some money already. I would look to just finish up and just prep yourself going into the open. If it pops up higher, then look for support to build over time. But it's up a lot already. I think that we'll see some profit taking leading into the open here. So, hey, 2 good stocks to begin with, the DCTH, the WLDS. Actually, the Tasha we'll jump to next year, TSHA. What a move from yesterday we had on this Tasha. I'm just going to nickname it that. So, it ended up leading to a huge breakout shortly after the market had opened up. And then from there, just kept going across the day. I know it started in pre-market here, which led us to put this on the pre-market list, the main morning list. If you're joining us in Traders Talk this morning, I already had a couple of emails from students asking me to go over this trade. So don't worry about it. The stock is definitely on our list for Traders Talk this morning. Any questions that you wanted to go over with me, otherwise, definitely send over through email. Again, that'll be at 11 o'clock Eastern. But led to a huge pop once the market opened. It got halted, and then eventually, as you could see, it broke higher. Why did it break higher? How we were able to anticipate the breakout here in the afternoon, that definitely we'll look to cover in the Traders Talk workshop. So I'm going to stick with us there. But of course, it ended up running up off those highs, ended up running up, well over the 235, 237-ish historical level I was calling out. And it did that in the after hours. So we're not trying to hold this type of trade into the post market. If you're sticking at your desk, then I guess you could try and play with it. But honestly, pre-market's way more opportunistic than post-market. So this was definitely a nice gift to have if you were holding on or if you're trading in the post-market. But otherwise, we all ended up getting out on this just prior to the close. Phenomenal pop. But otherwise, now at this stage here, I would look for a deeper pullback when the market opens up. As you could see, it gapped up higher, it traded up higher in the after hours. So I think it is going to pull back, and we'll see if the highs from yesterday, right around 220-ish, could hold. If not, then maybe the close price 213. I don't mind putting this back on our list. It looks really flat here for pre-market. It's not on the top of our watch list here for the open, but makes the cut. Jith asking, what's the breakout level? I didn't even check levels, Jith, on this. I'll try and do it really quick here for you, but we're going to try and scan through right now. Right now, there's not much that's sticking out here, really, and I'm not just saying that to say it. 250, little CVP, keyword little, not big. Otherwise, here from the after hours, there ain't much. 248, little volume there, which adds with the 250. You trust your 50-cent levels as always. We typically say that for nearly any stock, but outside of just that, there isn't much that stands out. Again, I'd look for the pullback, if anything there, Jeff. All right, so let's just run right through, folks. We had a nice trade on that Tasha yesterday. A couple of others from yesterday that I'm sure we'll run into at some point as we go through here, but let's build up our list right now. We have 3 stocks on our watch list right now at this point. Yeah, CYX was on our pre-market list. It's not looking really strong right now, nearly as strong heading into the open. So, I'm going to write this down for our side list. I'll come back to it if it pops, if we need to come back to this at the end of this meeting. There's the Tasha trade. NVTS, nice pop in the after hours of this trade, actually. A spot for as much as it popped in the after hours. What is going on here in pre-market? Very inactive pre-market here. It's trading 74,000 shares. Look what Tasha's doing. Look what SCYX is doing. DCT. So for as much of a pop as we had here, you would have thought that we would have seen more activity at least, not necessarily a run higher, but this is really spotty. So I'm not too particular about that. ASTS here, same thing. Little pop yesterday on that trade, but otherwise not much to show for it now. Nikola, you would have thought there would be more follow through after the initial pop from 8 o'clock here. I know that Rich had called that out at the time, and it was a great call out. Just again, not much afterwards. So I'm going to put it on our list. It's tradable. It's a stock that we're all familiar with. And hopefully it ends up making a better push here after the open. It's technically up less than 5% now. Wow, that's crazy. We already dipped into under 5%. There ain't a single other stock that's up more than 5% that's worth our time now, folks. Geez, you know that we're in the dog days of summer with that. So let's hop over to the loser side. Again, hey, if you made some little cushion money to begin this morning, that's phenomenal, because really, if there's not much to show from the gainer side, that means, honestly, I think things are going to dry up kind of early today, as we had said yesterday too. But again, it's that time of the year. So DSGN, nice short. Actually is shortable in TradeStation this morning. It's down huge. In fact, actually, the other one that was down huge this morning, AAMC, we'll get to. I skipped over that, in fact. So this one, Design, we'll call it. I think that's the actual name for it, Design Therapeutics. Led to a nice drop off here. Hey, it's down enough to look for a dead cat bounce in case if this fails to move lower. If this shakes down to 3 and then holds support from there and pushes back up on a little short squeeze, that's a good thought. Follow the trend first, though. It's down a lot percentage-wise, but Fausto says this all the time himself. I mean, he always asks me when we do the audio commentary, hey, Josh, how much lower can DSGN go? Well, we know the answer, another $3.10 technically. So, yes, we've seen stocks make bigger moves down percentage-wise. Follow the trend first, and then we'll see if it can make that continuated move or if it squeezes. Same to be said here. AAMC, it's actually a spotty graph given. It dropped off big in the after hours yesterday. It's down so much, though, 65% nearly. It's trading more volume. Hey, this one too, I'll add to our watch list. Not AMC here. I would have thought that AMC would have been like a sympathy play, dropping off with this AMC. I guess AMC, the movie theater company, got beat up too much the last day or so, right? I'm just joking with that, obviously. But, you could see AAMC itself down big, DSGN down big. Hey, GLTO down big, but it's an 80-cent stock. We're not going to trade a stock below $1 really like that. And then otherwise, we'll check out SE. Really good short on this. There was a huge iceberg order on the ask earlier for this trade at $50. It never got tested. But when you see something that large out there, it's not necessarily going to be tested as much as it's just weighing the stock down. So that order got pulled a little while ago, but it was about 110,000 shares popped up as it was beginning to squeeze back up here. And shortly after, it rounded off and then pulled back. So, this definitely had some influence with weighing the stock down and pushing it a bit back down and lower now at this point. I don't think that order appeared anywhere else because that was 110,000. So unless if you're seeing something of similar size showing up here, then, I'm sure this is a different order. 1920K here at 47.50. Really good short though, nonetheless. So I'm going to put this on our watch list. A little pricier stock. So if you don't really trade something that expensive, then simply put, don't let it be a distraction to you, but it's a great trade. I'm going to put this on our watch list. Got a cup of water, a cup of coffee, and a nice pile of bacon here, actually. So I'm going to make sure I finish up, make sure I'm good for the market open for all of us here. Michael asking, ON drop on earnings. We'll take a look at that. Perfectly cooked bacon this morning, by the way. Down big, but it's probably going to have a really thin order book, so I'd pass on that just in general, just because of how thin the volume is going to be. It's moving though a bit, so if you're short on it from earlier, then I would probably look to get out certainly before the market opens up. Give yourself a chance to breathe and relax, as we say. DBD, no thoughts on it, Rod. It's only trading 280 shares. Hey, this is why we're doing the meeting here, right? Normally you have Fausto here at the helm just running through the gainers and losers list. He has 35 years experience doing this, folks. I have nearly 10, but it's to say that there's a reason why we're starting off with these stocks here. You need to look for volume. You need to look for activity. We teach this all throughout the phase 1 stock course. In fact, as I look at my calendar here, just a little heads up, last piece of housekeeping before we jump off. We'll make this reminder throughout this week, just going forward. But going into next week, the 21st, we're actually beginning the curriculum once again for the month of August. The phase 1 stock course will be on Monday, the 21st and Wednesday, the 23rd. All right. And actually, those exact 2 classes, or those 2 days of classes, we're going to be talking about scanning, tradable, not tradable, everything that I'm kind of sifting through here very quickly through. We're going to kind of go through in detail. All right. IRA on the XPEV. It's just a side list stock. It's moving up a little bit. Nothing really too special about it, IRA. Say the same on Neo, say the same on Lee, say the same on any of these other stocks that are like trading a little volume here, making a little micro move there. We just ran through the gainers and losers list, folks. So let's start with this right now. Hey, if there's anything that I missed that is popping big, definitely let me know. I know that we had a few great call outs this week thus far. So let me know if there's anything that I'd missed. But if it's looking like this, there's better fish in the sea. There's easier fish in the sea to try and grab. All right, checking Benzinga Pro while I'm at it here. So not really much that we'd missed. It would have popped up here, I feel. That's fun. Hey, that's good by me. All right, so folks, hey, we're going to finish up for right now. So again, join us inside our live trading room. Join us on YouTube for our Trader Stock Workshop coming up this morning at 11 o'clock Eastern. Again, just for any of our students here, Ira, Rod, John, Kathleen, Jith, Leda, all of our students. Let me know if you have any questions or trades that you'd want to go over. Send it through email. If you could send it through email, that would be best. It would just be in the top of my inbox there. It'd be very easy for me to go over. Big shout out to Abdul joining us on YouTube today. Welcome aboard, Abdul. And hey, if Abdul or any of us on social wanted to join us for that workshop there as well, stay tuned. We'll be back at 11 o'clock Eastern time, I should say, for our Trader Stock Workshop. If you wanted to get the full version, join us officially inside our live trading room. Just scan that QR code on the top left of the screen, get you access to our live trading room. Any questions that you have for our workshop this morning, again, Josh at c2trading.com is the handle. Definitely let me know if there's any questions or trades that you want to go over. All right, folks. But hey, let's start and stick with this watch list here, and then we'll go from there. Last one, SCYX. Actually, I wrote down on the side. I wrote that down on the side. I said I'd go back to it if we needed to. You tell me, folks. How about this? Do you think I'm going to put this on the watch list or no? What do you think? This look good? What do we think? Yes, no, maybe so. Liquidity is not terrible. Probably fill in a little bit more when the market opens, hopefully on a consistent spread. But that's the first part of it. The second part would be more just what's it doing of late? What's the trend from 8:30 to 9:30? The last hour here before the open, it's as dead as can be right now. So could it pop afterwards? 100% it could pop. 100% anything could happen, right? So for right now, it's on the side list. We're going to stick with the Nikolas, the DCTHs, the WLDSs out there, and then we'll come back to this after the first 5 minutes of the open. All right, folks. So, hey, best of luck trading and heading into the market open, and I'll talk to everyone coming up very soon here at the opening bell, and then otherwise at 11 o'clock for our Trader Stock Workshop. Take care.